Ether Authority community. Welcome to the Sky Network show. Today we have with us Yogesh, uh, Ivan, Pierre, and Sudeep as a guest. So just to get the glimpse of it, here are their profiles. First of all, thank you everyone for joining in and taking this time out. Um, okay, I'll go over to the Yogesh. Yogesh will start with the introduction. Yogesh, over to you.
All right. Thank you. And thank you, Sandeep. Welcome, community. It's one week of time. It's a pretty interesting time. And I'm very happy to come here and present our valuable and honorable guest with us today, and who are expert in the industry space, and they are moving the needle. So basically, the industry leaders are with us, and we will be very happy to have their knowledge and their wisdom, and to get the understanding of what's the current trends in blockchain, Web3, AI, and how the industry is moving forward. So very excited to for all these events for today. And before we begin, just let me give a quick rundown to the about the show. So the topic of today's show is about the current trends and future vision of Web3, blockchain, AI, and in general tech. So we'll be very happy and excited to be here and to share knowledge, discuss about it, and yeah, it will be very valuable for participant to join. All right, Sandeep. Uh,
Yeah, Yogesh. So you said it right, and today's topic is blockchain and AI integration. So fundamentally, blockchain is a decentralized technology, and AI is fundamentally a centralized technology when it comes to core AI part. So both are opposite to each other, but when it comes to the applications, there are endless applications specifically on blockchain as well. I mean, on the blockchain as well as AI comes as a great supporting role because it improves efficiency, it improves. There are multiple applications. Personally, I'm a big fan of LLMs, and also we have been developing a couple of technologies by ourselves regarding like on-chain smart contract analysis, the different kind of services where specifically, I mean, data analysis of blockchain, like the whole chain link data. So that is also something where AI can be really helpful. So yeah, there are multiple applications as well as, of course, everybody would be aware about ChatGPT and the way LLMs are, coming forward and new applications are coming up every day. So that is something which I'm really looking forward to. And yeah, also I would love to thank you all the guests for joining in. And Yogesh, why don't we start with the one-on-one introduction, and yeah, you can go ahead with and communicate know more about their views on the specific topic.
all right. All right. So first of all, I'll start with Ivan. Thank you very much for being here, being on the show. Would you like to give a brief introduction and your contribution into the business industries and everything? Please give a bit about yourself, please.
Well, thank you for inviting me. My name is Ivan. I've been building software for around 22 years now. I've been building on Ethereum and other blockchains since late 2015. Uh, I would say that the most interesting things right now that I'm doing, I'm VP of strategy for Tenderly, which is an RPC node blockchain tooling provider. Also, I've been one of the co-authors of Polygon Edge, which was Polygon's client, EVM client, before they moved fully to ZK EVM. And I'm also a Foundation Council member for Apex Fusion blockchain, which is actually a multi-chain system that is very obsessed with actually being compliant while still maintaining the public blockchain component. So I will be talking probably from these positions as a member of Polygon through Polygon Edge, Tenderly, and Apis Fusion. I've been involved with the launch of almost 300 different blockchain networks, that were built on top of Polygon Edge. And I've also been involved with over 30 public blockchains in supporting them through tooling and infrastructure.
All right, thank you. That's very powerful. It's since a very long time you've been in this industry, done a lot of work, and actually pushed the industry forward. So shape the future of the industry. So awesome, awesome. Thank you. Okay, Pierre, would you like to give me the introduction yourself, please?
Hello, my name is Pierre, and thanks for inviting to this nice event. We had in 2023 an invention with good inventor. He's famous around the world, and he invented a special wind device. We call it 3D device. It's 8 times more effective than the traditional wind energy. So we are coming up to 40 megawatts per hour in the wind industry, and we wanted to establish, or we want to establish, a payment method that you can pay your electricity bills through blockchain. That's why we came on the market with the smart energy token. We are still in pre-sale till the 12th of October, and the listing starts on the 14th. So then we are on 3 big top 10 exchanges. So that's about my.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So basically, energy, green energy sector, right? So
Yes.
in coming years, the carbon, all these petrochemicals and all kinds of energy products that will be very expensive and it will be run out in near future. So focusing more on how the green energy can be built and also with using of the blockchain, how blockchain can work with the green energy sector, right?
Yes,
So
we
it's
want to bring the green energy to the blockchain.
right.
So this is
Yeah,
this is our intention.
right. Very powerful. Very powerful. Thank you for sharing. I will go to the Sudeep. Welcome, sir. And would you like to give a brief about your?
Well, I'm Sudeep, one of the co-founders to Web3 portal, media portal by the name Coin Gabbar. And like we have been in the industry for past 3 years and have achieved a significant milestone. Recently, we reached like, I guess, 5 million plus clicks last month. So that is what the achievement is. If we talk about my particular background, then I've been in the consulting, financial consulting, most precisely for the past around 25 years. And having consulted companies like from private limited companies to listed companies to multinational corporations, that has been my job profile. But recently made a shift to the Web3 and mostly covering the news and media, but also contributing in some ways to the policy making at some level and whatever humble capacity I can. So that is what my profile is, and that is what I do.
Yeah, powerful. So you said about the policy making, very important and very powerful topic, because at the moment the industry as itself lacks this kind of policies, global policies,
Yeah.
how to maintain, regulate the entire industry. Yeah. So would you like to talk more about how you are managing that and working on that part, policies making?
Well, it's not exactly working. There's always been a difference between the private sector and the government sector. The government regulators have their eyes and ears in the form of consultants who have been dealing with the government regulations and the industry's expectations at the same time. So we people like us are kind of acting as a bridge between the government and the regulators so that we can maybe come up to the expectation of the industry and also can take care of the motives of the regulators as to what they want, what they don't want, and how we can strike a balance between these two. Like if I just elongate the discussion a bit further, like what exactly the governments want is an economy which is closed, and anything by the name of a crypto does not harm the liquidity of their economy. So that is what the governments are most worried about. So if we talk about, you have seen all sorts of terrorism till now. I'm digressing from the topic that you have seen the physical terrorism where bombs are being dropped. We have seen bioterrorism in a number of cases. I would not like to specify which. But we are on the verge of seeing the financial terrorism if crypto is given its actual wings. So the governments are wary about it. I mean, you just assume that you want to demolish a country's economy, a small country's economy. You just start selling Bitcoin there at like 10% discount, and everybody will be buying Bitcoins there. And what will happen is the country will go into a spiral of deflation, and that will actually sabotage the economy. So this is the kind of things that the countries, the ecosystems are basically, the economies are basically worried about, and that is why they don't want to give it the currency status. So the policy making part, the helping in policy making part comes when you're talking about the actual use case of blockchain, how it is say helping the industry in a way, and how it can actually make a difference in the times to come, and making them understand as to what exactly is the role of crypto when we talk about operating a blockchain, because it is a validation system. If we talk about a private blockchain, it works without crypto. But when we talk about a public blockchain in which more projects can be built, a more sustainable ecosystem can be built, then definitely this kind of a layer needs certain crypto ecosystem to perform, to grease the wheels of the blockchain. And that is something that the policymakers need to understand. So this is what my role is, having being into the financial consultancy stream for so long. What we come to go to the regulators is with an idea as to how it might affect the future, how it might like bring about some change into the future without actually damaging or without actually being detrimental to the existing control ecosystem and existing economies of the country. So that is the role we are playing. We are well aware of the laws, the regulations. So that is where we talk to the regulators that what changes might be needed, and what kind of say regulations need to be brought in so as to protect even the interest of the investors, because investors interest are primary when it comes to the just the investment economy even in the crypto ecosystem. So all these things are something we are working parallelly on. I'm not working on this alone. There are a lot of friends, there are a lot of industry experts who are just relentlessly working to design these things, to come up with a set of regulations which might be good for the industry. And I mean, which the regulations which can actually separate the good and the bad. They can keep the scammers at bay, and they can help the good projects set up their foot into the market. So that's basically the idea.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because as we can see, there are we have in our industry people are against government. They don't want to be controlled. So that's what many people are. But you put it really well that if this type of things can destroy an economy of a country, and as well as it can give a more open field to bad people like terrorists and all the scammers and all kinds of things, because there are no accountability. And therefore this type of framework is absolutely necessary. Even if this is a technology, right, even if it is anonymous, no problem. But since this is a technology, it needs a kind of a framework and regulatory things all over the world to make sure the good businesses, the genuine businesses flourish and contribute into the economy, not harm the economy.
Exactly. I mean, if you talk about the concept of the government, they want somebody to be nabbed in case something goes south. So something went bad with Binance. CZ was the one to face the fire for that. So they want somebody. They don't want anonymity. They don't want absolute anonymity. They want somebody who should be there. So if I may say, as a step forward, in the eyes of regulators, anonymity. I mean, a complete decentralized ecosystem is a myth. So they want somebody to be at the helm of the affairs, even if he's holding, say, 5% stake or 5% tokens in the ecosystem. He should be there. He should be controlling the ecosystem so that if something goes south, something goes bad, he can be nabbed. He can be told to check and told to keep things in place. So that is what is the regulator's perspective. I might be playing the devil's advocate here for the Web3 ecosystem, but guys, if you are in the Web3 ecosystem, centralization of control is not the requirement, but centralization of management is the requirement. So you need to have centrally managed projects so that the projects are not used for bad purposes. That is the simple ask that the regulators are having from you.
Right. Definitely. So, okay, I'll go to the Ivan. Sudeep said that it's centralized control is not necessary, but centralized management is necessary of some sort. But
Well,
when we talk about the Bitcoin, the father of cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin, there is no centralized person. However, there is a management, okay, centralized management, like all the big sharks, whales, and exchanges are managing the Bitcoin itself. So yeah, would you like to add something to this?
Well, I would say, that Bitcoin and Ethereum as first of these types of projects were very interesting to me because of the fact that usually when you are building open source, you traditionally had to incorporate in order to monetize on the project. And basically, pretty much over the last 30 years of us having through open source projects, I would say that especially on the web, obviously we ended up with four types of monetization, which was professional services, hosted solution, marketplaces, and open core. And then suddenly you had Bitcoin, and after that you had Ethereum as the first smart contract platform that had a broader usage, which didn't need to have that. They basically monetized through the token. So I think the power of the token, with the fact that the current core of the internet is based on open source projects, is extremely valuable, and at some point it will need to be recognized globally in many ways, because it's not going away, because suddenly you have a way to monetize open source without incorporating. And this is something I think countries will have to understand, but if we look at it from a logical perspective, there are a lot of things Web3 projects also need to understand, and that is, the fact that usually you do not come up with a vision, and then the world goes after your vision. Usually you realize where the world is going, and then the vision needs to be somewhere over there. And when we look at, what are usually the trend drivers, it is basically legislation, it is change in people's behavior, because of the new generations coming in, and it is access to new technologies. We do have access to new technologies, through Web3. This is a completely new way for us to live out this renaissance of cryptography in many ways. Since 2 years ago, we have general purpose zero knowledge, suddenly in play, etc., etc. And the tech is now there to build this type of things. We do see that kids understand tokens better, their parents, because they use them in games in many ways and whatnot. And when it comes to legislation, I think that I personally obviously love the Bitcoin, but at the same time, governments, obviously, as Sandeep said, are not that eager for someone to openly attack money. However, every regulation out there that governments are putting out right now around data is very much pro blockchain, because our current ability to fight against fake news, to know if the AI models are properly trained, and if they are audited, are you actually serving the audited version of that AI model, etc., etc. We cannot have none of that without fault tolerant systems directly on the internet. And because of all of this, I think that blockchains or Web3 or fault tolerant systems on the internet in some shape or form are not just here to stay, they're here to thrive. And they are probably not going to look completely like the blockchains that we have today. I'm a big proponent on something I like to call federated multi-chains, which is pretty much multi-chain blockchain systems, that are federated in governance, so you have different parts of the blockchain that are decentralized and are very verifiable. However, you did have a centralized entity that designed the system and explained which part is doing what. So I definitely have to agree a lot with Sandeep there. But that is a longer topic of discussion.
All right. Yeah, powerful. Thank you. So, there are many things like governmental legislation, AI, how the AI can empower, or maybe there may be good effect or bad effect on blockchain industry. For example, and also there is another thing that quantum computing also is coming up. That's also kind of it's seen as a threat. Maybe it's not at the moment, but in the future technology. For example, if all this encryption, all the cryptography can be broken down by quantum computers, then entire blockchain will be like they can go like all the private key will be just discovered, disclosed. I mean, immediately they can calculate the private key of any wallet. So you being in this zero knowledge proof, you work with all these types of solutions long time, right? What do you think about the possibility of quantum computers being into a blockchain industry along with AI? Okay, AI and quantum computing, how that can have a impact on blockchain as a whole industry? Ivan.
Uh, yes. Well, first of all, I think it's a very interesting topic. I know also a lot of projects, are dealing both with quantum and with different types of hardware acceleration around that. It might change, some of the encryption methods that we are currently using. However, for me, I primarily view most of the current public blockchains as experiments, that basically created certain flags, So if you have a Bitcoin, I'm not viewing it in a way that if you are having free Bitcoin, that means that those Bitcoins have to be completely secure by themselves 100 years from now. I just believe that that means that you have a flag that you own free Bitcoins, and if tomorrow we need to upgrade the Bitcoin network to a more quantum resistant network, that works differently, so the flag of you having free Bitcoin is just going to transfer to that network. So I do believe that the underlying technologies are going to change a little bit, with the advancement of encryption methodologies and quantum, etc., etc. It's not going to happen as fast as some doomsday theorists, probably believe, but the upgrades of the technologies that we are running on are going to happen anyway. We are just probably going to be transferring states to a better, more secure networks compared to current trends later on.
Right. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Before I can go to the Sandeep, I would just go with a peer because you are it's long time you are just all right. So you want to add something to this, like what you see in terms of governmental regulations, legislation in Europe? Probably, most probably, that's where you are operating. So what
Yeah,
do you think about?
we are working with many governments, or we are in contact with many governments around the world. So because we establish in the beginning of next year our 3 wind devices. So, and we want to take 10% of the market in 2028 of the whole electricity production worldwide. So we are in contact with them. And yeah, it's not that easy to go with a token or a blockchain to governments to deal with them. But if you are open up to them and doing the KYCs like they're expecting, and it's possible, it's working. So it's just how you speak and how you explain them the use case of your token. So and then it's also working. It's not that easy like you're working with a fiat, but yes, it's possible. The use case is important in the blockchains.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It may take some time, right, for the people, governmental body to get to the flow. But at the moment, it's kind of they don't understand technology, right? They don't understand the token. I'm not. I don't know about the Europe, but in India, the that's my personal view, of course. The officials in the government, those who are running a government, don't understand technology. They don't know how the blockchain works and this and that. So when we present something to them, it's kind of more like a skeptical.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's in Europe the same. You saw it a few weeks ago when the German government put the thousands of bitcoins on the market and everything crashed. So they have no idea about the technologies. They believe, yeah, let's put it on the market. It's like in fiat. So you change on one day, I don't know, 5-10 billion. So it's nothing, but the bitcoin completely crashed and almost the whole system went down. So this they don't understand it now in this way, but sooner or later they have to accept and they will understand it well.
they have to accept, right? They have to.
Yes, they have to. There is no other way.
All right. Okay. All right. I think let's go to the Sandeep. And Sandeep, you want to add something to this, or maybe you want to talk more about the AI part, because the AI is a disrupting, right? In the blockchain world, it will be completely disrupting every X sector, including blockchain, right? It's not only blockchain, but it's disrupting everything. So, what's your thought on that, Sandeep?
Yeah,
So
Yogesh. Yes, a big bird.
yeah, first I would like to add something to what Ivan said. That also you said it, Yogesh, that quantum computing might pose a threat to the blockchain. So I would say that the solution lies in the question itself. Since we are talking about decentralization, so more the decentralization, more the number of nodes present, the more secure the blockchain is. If you talk about quantum computing, it will not just be able to get into a blockchain if there are more number of terminals. So there's going to be a consolidation in the industry. There will be a fewer blockchains having stronger capabilities, more security, and this is how probably we'll be able to face the challenge of quantum computing. That is the first part. Second, when you're talking about the advent of artificial intelligence in blockchain, so I would say that artificial intelligence is not just it'll supplement the blockchain. It will not in any way threaten the blockchain, because blockchain is essentially data. So you talk about a number of things. You talk about the health industry. So if you talk about securing all the health records of a person on a blockchain right since the time he is born, so blockchain will possess enormous amounts of data, and that can be done, that can be analyzed, and can be utilized securely, and that can be utilized properly only by something which has the artificial intelligence capabilities. A normal server will not be able to do it easily, and that will be a continuous churning of data, continuous churning of things. So we need to make, I mean, to the industry experts, I would just complete my discussion by saying that it is an appeal to the industry experts that if you're making a blockchain, just think of how many data points can you capture when we are talking about the use case based blockchains, not just something to earn kind of a blockchain, so a game or an event or something. When you're making a blockchain based ecosystem, make a project in which you can have the maximum data points, because in the times to come you will need it when the AI will be a layer on top of the blockchain to analyze the data and can generate meaningful results. So this is where the world is going. Data is right now the king, but data is going to be like the emperor of all the things. So and blockchain is going to be the biggest boon, which will be capturing all the data from all the points. So I will request you to ensure maximum data recording at maximum data points. That will help the AI engines later on to generate meaningful results.
Yeah, yeah. Just I want to add to your discussion. When you say the data, maximum data to be utilized or stored in a blockchain. At the moment, blockchain has a limited capabilities. For example, they cannot store a data more than maybe few bytes, or maybe I say few kilobytes of data. For example, in a smart contract, we can only store certain limited number of data right now. So I think we need to have kind of a solution, maybe in the future, work towards which handle the larger amount of the data. Because in a decentralized way, storing large amount of data, because if there are lots of nodes, like thousands of nodes, everyone will storing, let's say, like images, for example. If everyone wants to sync their own data like in a larger quantity, then I think that it's unworkable based on the technology we have right now.
Yes. I mean, well,
What do you
in
think?
essence, blockchain is a transactional distributed database, and there is a reason why we went away from transactional distributed databases in the 50s, which is because it's the most expensive way for you to actually have a database, storage-wise primarily.
I mean, there is Meta, there is Facebook, there's Instagram. They are saving all sorts of data. If we can equip the capabilities layered on top of a blockchain, that will help. So that's what I was saying, that we need to have more data intensive blockchains, and that is where the consolidation will come into picture. There won't be like thousands of blockchain, thousands of layer ones. Only a few will remain. Maybe the rule of 80/20 in the industry will apply. So for like logistics, there will be two or three top blockchains. For health industry, two or three top blockchains. For social media, two or three top blockchains. For financial industry, two or three top blockchains. This is how the evolution will happen over a period of time. And that is actually the case where the industry is moving. So I have been moving across the events, I mean, various events across the world. And what I am seeing is a constant shift from the something to earn concept to the real life utility, real life use case scenarios. And that is actually, I'm happy to see that the industry is maturing now, like something what Ivan and Pere are building. So this is a real life utility which will help solve a problem, not just a game that will help you gain, a small time popularity. So it's good. I'm happy with the state of affairs that the industry is going through.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So when there is a real case use cases, then it's a real use of this technology, right? When the people on the on a street, they are using the technology same like we are using our mobile phone. So at that level, when we have that much of adoption of technology, then I think it will be the time will come. Ivan, just I want to add to your last discussion about storing large amount of the data. So you are mostly working with zero knowledge proof, in which what I understand with zero knowledge is based on all the calculations and everything happens off chain, right? And then it will be connected with a layer one
Well,
blockchain.
yes, you can look at that in many ways. If you look in Polygon zkVM, it requires huge amounts of RAM on the other side. So right now using Polygon zkVM is also very expensive, just not on the storage side, but on the RAM side. If you look at any other blockchain and also the current solutions, the block state is forever growing. There is currently no way for you to actually reduce block state. And if you look at Tenderly, as a project that provides, as I said, RPC nodes, tooling, different types of test nets, etc. Also used by a lot of auditing companies. Um, at the end of the day, like 60 to 70 of our entire costs of operating a blockchain network, end up being storage. And over time, they just become bigger because, the network cost, it can become bigger or smaller over time based on how many people are actually using that blockchain. The compute cost also, if no one is currently using the blockchain, the compute cost will go down, but the storage cost will never go down because you will never have less transactions than yesterday. Even the empty blocks, they are still need to be stored somehow. So from that perspective, yes, I would definitely say that storage and different types of data availability layers are still among the biggest problems that blockchains have.
Yeah, yeah. So as a technology, we are evolving day by day. There is a huge community around the world working tirelessly to push the boundaries of the blockchain. All right, Sandeep, you want to add something because you are quiet since long time.
Yeah, yeah. So I was just waiting anyway. So I'll start from start till end, and I'll try to put my points wherever I could. So let's start with the regulations. Of course, I would definitely agree with Sudeep in that particular case that regulation has to be there. There's no way around. In all three, like again, let me start with this. So personally, I have experience with the blockchain industry. So I'm a technical guy, so have experience with quantum computing as well as have experience with AI. So I would like to, put all three of them together in a way that all three technologies are kind of a complementary to each other. Each one has the uh, like pros and cons, but it's like okay, pros of the quantum computing can help the AI part. Pros of the AI can help the blockchain part, and pros of the blockchain can help the uh, AI and quantum computing both together. So there are each one has its own pros and cons, and but all three of them complement each other beautifully. So again, diving deeper into it. So for all these three technologies, regulations are very much required, and because they are very complicated, specifically in application and execution, as well as when it comes to adoption. Like, for example, okay, right now, Web3 is at a place where it require like right now the current focus of the whole industry should be like it should be on adoption and utilities. And there's no other way around. That is the next step in the evolution for industry. So I think that is something which everybody is working on, and that is the right way to take it forward. With the adoption, the whole industry will evolve. And during this evolution, like for example, quantum computing comes with a threat on specifically, it's not a threat against blockchain, but it's a threat against cryptography. And specifically in that also, there are specific algorithms which are getting affected. But right now, if you will see, there's something called post-quantum cryptography, and which is the one of the, like there are specifically four domains of the application of quantum computing. One of that is quantum cryptography, and specifically like post quantum cryptography has made the strides in last 2 years. And right now, I think we almost have practical solutions where post quantum cryptography is available. So I think blockchain doesn't have to worry about it. The solutions are already available. It's just a matter of applications, and it will be applied in near future. So already there are many products coming up, and also new products will be upcoming. Currently, there is an issue with the key size, but I think that will also be resolved very soon. Now, when it comes to blockchain, there is a but as Yogesh discussed, that okay, limitations on the size of the data. So ZK is very good approach, but I mean, it definitely helps with the scalability of blockchains. It will also, thanks to the ZK, thanks to the ZK, it is possible that other AI applications which were not possible can be done with this zero knowledge proofs. So in a way, all three technologies together, comes together beautifully, and they do solve very the problems which are there with each. For example, like Ivan discussed regarding the data storage part. Okay, when it comes to quantum computing is one hope where the world's data problem can be addressed with that. So that is also there. Similarly, AI, with the huge data comes the analysis problem. So that's where the AI is really helpful. Again, when it comes inside the AI, when it comes to the training part, and specifically inside the training, there are some scenarios where it is the hardest. That's where the quantum computing can benefit the AI as well. So in a way, all three technologies working together, and in next 5 years, 10 years, it's gonna evolve in a way that yeah, it will be complementing each other. And of course the governments will have to be more vigilant, and come up with the new ways to create the framework, as well as the stakeholders. It's not just the government's job to come up with the rules. I mean, it's all also the job of the stakeholders, every blockchain owner, every token holder. Everybody has to come together and come up with a decentralized democratic way where we can come up with the great frameworks. So again, I'll not take much of a time. I'll go over to the Yogesh. But yeah, I mean, I love all these three technologies, and they are the future. Yeah, over to you, Yogesh.
All right. Yeah, yeah, definitely put it really well. The Web3, the blockchain, quantum computing, and all kinds of things. Thank you, Sandeep. Now we are about to reaching to the end of the session. So just let me get some of the questions from community. So we have a Kirito asking blockchain itself is a nature transparent and all past transaction history of particular wallet can be checked, which is the best thing. Yeah, yeah, definitely it's transparent and it's open and transparent. Now I'm curious and believe that private blockchain like Monero should be regulated to some extent. I would be glad to hear expert opinion. Sudeep, you want to say something about the regulation of Monero blockchain, the blockchain which are very private blockchains. So, yeah.
Well, generally, I mean, every organization using a technology in its private ecosystem is free to use whatever they want. So they should not be regulated unless they are affecting the public ecosystem on the whole. So if something like this is operated in a bank, and bank has a larger investor money or the public money at stake, so definitely they need to have certain checkpoints, certain points where it can be assessed whether it is going right or not. I mean, there's a technology audit done for banks. They have to submit a report that the core banking system they are using, whether it is right or not. So whenever there is public money involved, there need to be an audit or there need to be a regulation. But if the public money is not involved, if somebody is doing it for their own ecosystem, I don't think a regulation is a need right now, because government has bigger issues to deal with. So I think this will become beyond the bandwidth of any regulator to go that deep into the private ecosystems. Rather, it will affect only the point where the public money or public investment is at stake. That's what my thought is.
Right, right. So about the private blockchain, right? So those blockchain which are run privately, maybe running in a banking sector or maybe in health sector. So whatever there are private blockchains, it's their business how they're gonna use. It's their audit how they're gonna use technically. So there is no regulation in terms of private blockchain, but whatever the public blockchain which are used for, which has a cryptocurrency and has a financial value, that must be regulated by.
Of course.
Right. All right. Okay. So I think we are pretty much end of the session. Okay. Would you like to? I will start with Sudeep. You want to share something about your project? You want to say something about your project to the community, or you want to say anything about your project or something?
Well, we are Coin Gabbar. I mean, Gabbar Singh as in Gabbar Singh in India. So, coingabbar.com is the portal, and we provide news. We are a media portal. We provide news, information, research, analysis about the Web3 world, about the crypto projects, and that is what our business is. So, we are basically at the core, we are a media company. And if you want some, the basic essence is everything at one place. So there are news portals, there are pricing portals, there are analysis portals. We try to provide all of these at one place. That is what the motto is. That's all about CoinGabbar. Rest, I mean, if you go to coingabbar.com and you check the portal, you might get a lot that might interest you.
Okay. All right. So, uh, all the detail about CoinGabbar will be shared, and it's already there. I mean, just Google it, you will find it. So, anybody wants to learn more about it, then feel free to just get to the website and learn more about it. Okay, thank you, Sir Pierre. You already talked about the smart energy chain, smart energy token, and
Yes.
you want to say more about your upcoming uh, project phases like pre-sale and whatever, anything that you want to share to the community.
Yes, our pre-sale will stop now on the 12th of October. Then we start on a Kickstarter with few exchanges. On the till the 14th, on the 14th is the official listing of our coin, the Smart Energy Pay. It's a layer one coin, our own blockchain. It's done now almost in the end area. And yeah, next year we start to establish our three wind devices, because the whole world without electricity will not work. So, and we can provide it in a nice way with renewable energy. So let's just make 50 of our 3D wind devices, for an example, in Germany, and Germany has a bad wind area. So 50 of our devices have the same power level as a nuclear plant. So can you imagine how much electricity we can produce with blockchain and also AI technology, because we need it for the wheels, and also our wind blades. We have 220 wind blades, and each of them is AI. Um, the AI is making how the degrees are from the blades and turning the tower. So everything must be worked together, and this is also an AI project what we are working at the moment. So, but in the end, all the blockchain technology, even Bitcoin or whatever, without electricity is nothing. So that's why we are.
Right, definitely. So for more information, also, you can just Google about the smart energy chain or smart
Token,
energy. Yeah, and you will
smart
find all
energy
the
token.
smart energy token. Yeah, so you will
Yes,
find all the detail about the project, and feel free to check them out also as well. Being a future technology and green energy, which is a evergreen sector, right? So a lot of potential.
yes, and everybody would be happy to have their projects in blockchain on renewable energy blockchain. So in the end, this is the future. Also AI and whatever, it's consuming a lot of electricity. At the moment, we have 30 trillion US dollar electricity around the globe. So, and with AI technology and robotics, it's decreasing. It's increasing around about 15 to 20% per year. So, and this is a huge amount of money and also electricity. What you need for the projects in the future.
Right, definitely. Yeah. Thank you. Ivan, you want to add or conclude, or you want to talk about your project?
Well, first of all, I'm very happy that I had the chance to meet all of you. Hope to stay in touch. If you are writing smart contracts, I would invite you to definitely check out tenderly.io if you still haven't used Tenderly ever. And if you are interested in my thesis about interoperability and federated multichains, please do go to apexfusion.org. Outside of that, I'm on LinkedIn and Twitter, so if anyone wants to chat, just always feel free to reach out.
Definitely, tenderly.com, or just type Tenderly in Google and you will find all the details about the project and product and services. So feel free to check that out as well. Sandeep, can we do a final concluding remark? We also have a question from a community member about the wallet, SCAI wallet, and he's talking about if he can get a function in a wallet which says about the burning and mechanism or anything like that, so it will be helpful. It's just a suggestion. So yeah, Sandeep, you want to address that and also conclude the code?
Yeah, so basically we are bringing the decentralized analytics platform where all the blockchain data is available for everyone. It's an open network and open platform where you will be able to get all kind of information you want. So that is, of course, the burn data will always be available there. It's kind of an analytics platform where there is a dashboard available. So in that dashboard, you will be able to find each type of information regarding the holders, regarding the tokens, regarding the projects, uh, end to end, like for from each smart contract till each token, each transaction. So that is all upcoming. And of course, in that dashboard, this data will be available. There's also one question from Orbit FinTech that how crypto space and technology will be affected by the war going around the Middle East and USA. I mean, of course, there is hundreds and thousands of data available online, and it's still kind of a speculative place. But yeah, I would like to, get 30 seconds from each speaker if, they can put some light on current scenario. Sudeep, would like to start?
I'll simply say that anything that challenges the traditional economy and traditional ecosystem is going to be beneficial for the crypto ecosystem in the long run. That is as simple as it goes. So when you're talking about the wars, it is demolishing certain economies, it is detrimental to certain currencies, and crypto as a global currency might see a short-term loss, but in the long run, the faith is going to be reposed in the cryptocurrency as a whole, and that is where everybody is going to be like benefited. I mean, if you are in the Web3 world holding cryptos, you're going to be benefited by that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, an impact for sure it has. You could see it in the last days when Iran attacked Israel, for an example. So the exchange rates from Bitcoin, Ethereum is falling directly immediately. So you never know. So what will happen? So how you can handle it? So, but I think the real world assets are struggling a bit more than the cryptocurrency in this. This is just my opinion.
Right.
Great, guys. All right, Ivan. Thank you for joining in. Thank you, Pierre. Thank you, Sudeep. Thank you, Yogesh, for such a wonderful time. And like first and foremost, thank you, Secure Chain community and Ether Authority community for taking this time out every week. Also, we are planning to, make it twice a week in upcoming time. So stay tuned for the updates. Because of course, we still need a place for our weekly updates for the project as well. But the Saturday space will continue to be a kind of it will stay the Sky Network show as it is always. Yogesh? Over to you. And thank you everyone for joining in. Wishing every one of you a happy weekend and a productive week ahead. See you all next week. Yogesh, over to you.
All right. I'm good.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thanks everyone, and see you later. And have a great, fantastic weekend, everyone.